Hi, I'm Katie with Picture to Magic. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a custom t-shirt using your Cricut Maker. This will also work if you have an Explorer machine. For this project, you will need your Cricut machine loaded with a fine point blade. You'll need a light grip or standard grip cutting mat, iron-on vinyl of your choice, a weeding tool, a t-shirt in the color of your choice, and an EasyPress 2 and EasyPress mat. If you don't have an EasyPress, you can also just use your household iron with a folded up towel. Let's get started. The first thing we need to do is start a new project. We're going to start by searching for the Disney castle. On the left-hand side, click Images, and it will pull up the Cricut image library. Up at the top right, you can see Images, Categories, Cartridges, or the ability to search images. We're going to narrow the search field for ourselves by clicking Categories. Scroll past the holidays and the family occasions and things like that until we find brands, and then click on Disney. Here we see all of the licensed Disney images available in the Cricut library, and there are hundreds of them. So we're going to use the search bar to type in castle. And there we go. This fuchsia castle is the one that we want. If you have not already purchased it, it costs $1.99. You'll click on it and then insert the image. It will prompt you to purchase the image when you're ready to actually make your project. So click Insert Images down at the bottom right corner. I don't want the castle to be fuchsia. We're going to change it to black. We do that up here in this small square that's full of color. Click on it and then choose the color that you want. I'm choosing black. I don't love the cutouts for the windows in this castle. I want it to be a solid fill. That's an easy fix. Down at the bottom right corner, as far as you can go, you see Contour. Click on that. Contour shows us all the separate cuts that belong to our image. The very first one is the outline of the whole castle. That's the one we want to keep, but we want to get rid of all of the rest of them. We get rid of these smaller cut pieces by clicking on them one at a time, and there are several of them. So keep clicking and keep scrolling down until you've gotten all of them. Okay, once you've selected all of them, hit Hide All Contours. And now you can close out of this window. There's our beautiful, solid silhouette of the Disney castle. Now we need to add some text. Over there on the left side, you see text right under the image button. Click on text, and it opens a text box for you. The font that we want is called Four Seasons. We can change the font up here in the left corner by selecting this drop-down menu and then searching for the font that we want. So Four Seasons Home Decor. All I have to do is type in 4 and it pops up for me. Select that font, and then in the text box, type "This is," enter to the next line, "my happy place." I want this font to be centered instead of aligned to the left. We change alignment in the middle of at the top of the screen in the middle where it says alignment. Select the drop-down menu and then choose center. A couple things about fonts in Cricut Design Studio. They automatically space the lines 1.2 spaces apart, and they also space the letters 1.2 spaces apart by default. This is a little too far apart for my preference, so the way that we change that is simply by either clicking these arrows down under letter space or line space, and you'll see the space between them slowly shrink, or if you know the space that you want, which in this case I do, you can select the number and then just type it in. So I want the letters to be spaced 0.7 apart. 0.7, hit enter, there you go. Same thing for line space, but I want them to be -2. There we go, that's just how I want it. All right, now we need to resize everything. I want this text to be 10 inches wide. But I don't want it to be the same difference tall proportionately. So I need to unlock my sizing. Here at the very top in the middle, you see size, and it has the measurements for the width and the height. And then there's a little lock button. Click on that so I can manipulate the length of each side separately. So for the width, I want it to be 10 inches tall. Hit enter. And then the height, I want it to be 4.2 inches tall. Hit enter. Perfect. I want the castle to change proportionately, so I'm going to leave it locked, and I'm going to just change the height to be 7, so it is 7 inches tall. Now I need to back up so I can see all of my image. You do that at the bottom left corner of the screen. It's kind of hiding until you put your mouse on it. You see that 100%? I can click the negative button and it will zoom me out so I can see everything. So now that I have these placed about where I want them to be, oops, I made a mistake. I don't want this is to be on a separate line. I want this is my happy place. So the way you edit text, if you realize you made a mistake, is by double clicking on the text to select that layer, and then you just can go make the changes you need. So I want my to be on the first line, and then happy place to be on the second line. Okay, much better. Now select your castle and your text layer, and we want to align these center with each other. Align is at the top. Hit the drop down, center horizontally. Perfect. And then we just want to double check the height. Even though the cutting mats are 12 inches by 12 inches or 12 inches by 24 inches, the blade cannot actually go all the way across the mat. The maximum cutting width is 11.5 by 11.5 for a 12 by 12 mat, or 11.5 by 23.5 on the larger cutting mat. So as you can see with both of these selected, my width, total width is 7.718, we're fine, and my total height is 11.3. I'm fine to fit on my 12 by 12 mat. I could even make it the tiniest bit bigger if I wanted to, but I think that this is just right for me. Okay, one more thing that we need to do is we need to attach these layers to one another. If you want them to stay where you have positioned them on your canvas, you need to select attach. That's down at the bottom right, that little paper clip. Select attach, and now the Maker will view them as one image when it goes to cut. It's that fast. We are ready to prepare our mat and then make it. Now that you have your fine point blade loaded into your Cricut Maker, and you have placed your vinyl onto your mat, shiny side down, that's important, you're ready to make it. Top right corner, that green button, make it. You can see where it's going to line up on your mat. We have to make sure that we check mirror. Because we're cutting the wrong side of the material, and then we're going to be laying it down on a shirt to iron it on, we need to cut it as a mirror image so that it looks right when it's on our shirt. So select mirror, and you can see it's flipped your letters and flipped the whole image for you. And then bottom right, hit continue. Now that it recognizes your machine is connected, you need to choose your material. Today we're using Everyday Iron-On. So I click on that. It just wants me to make sure that my mat is loaded, the fine point blade is in, and now it's time to press go. Place your Iron-On vinyl onto your cutting mat. Shiny side down, matte side up. Smooth out any wrinkles. Then place it under the mat guides on your machine and press load. Give your Cricut just a moment to recognize your mat, and when the go button flashes, press it. When your Cricut is done cutting your design, the unload button will flash. Press it to remove your cutting mat. Use your weeding tool to peel away a small piece of vinyl. and then work across the rest of your vinyl, leaving the letters and design that you want to remain on your shirt. Peel the rest gently. Once you've removed the majority of your vinyl, you can go back with your weeding tool into the small holes and nooks and crannies to get out the rest. Turn on your EasyPress 2. Then set the temperature by pressing the temperature button and adjusting the arrows higher or lower. Press the temperature button again to set it. While you wait for the temperature to rise, place your EasyPress mat between the layers of your t-shirt. You'll know your EasyPress is preheated when the light turns green and you hear a short beep. Preheat your fabric by pressing the EasyPress onto your shirt for about 5 seconds, just to warm it up. Place your design where you would like it to go. Double check it if you need to. And once you are satisfied with its placement, gently press the EasyPress onto it and press the timer. It will count down the time for you. If your EasyPress is not as big as the size of your design, that's okay. You'll just repeat this process in a few places. Try not to overlap the placement of your EasyPress too much. This will prevent overheating and possible warping of your vinyl. Once your design is fully adhered to your t-shirt, you can remove the EasyPress mat and flip your t-shirt over. We're going to heat the back of our design for about 15 seconds to make sure that it is nice and set into our fabric. Now all we need to do is turn off our EasyPress and allow our shirt to cool for a few seconds until it's not too hot to handle. We're going to peel back the clear layer while it is still warm. If your vinyl sticks at all, you might need to reheat it in that spot for just a few seconds. And just like that, you have a custom Disney t-shirt. Way to go, crafters!